left turn.
Got a question here asked on lockergnome.net, I believe, although it could have been asked in a comment thread on youtube.com/lockergnome. Of course, it's also likely that the question was asked on Twitter if you included @ChrisPerlo or @lockergnome in the tweet. Either way, one of you asked a question: how do I decrease a video file size? How do I decrease a video file size? Well, essentially, you re-encode it. And what does that mean? That means that you take that video and you process it again. You either keep it at the same resolution, but lower the bit rate and the quality, and that would, of course, lower the file size, or you decrease the resolution altogether. And so there are many ways that you can go about shrinking a video, depending on how you need to shrink the video. Keep in mind, though, that sometimes when you shrink the video, you're also potentially decreasing its quality, not just its file size. So be careful. You got to look at the originating profile for that video, like what kind of bit rate was the audio recorded in stereo or mono, the resolution, etc., so that you know if you are saving file size without losing information versus reducing the file size and losing information. Got to really be careful. In terms of lowering that video's file size, my favorite video encoder of all times, even though I know it's not perfect, is MPEG Streamclip. It's freeware for either Windows or Mac OS X. It's what I have used on many of the videos that I've uploaded to YouTube to shrink the file size without really damaging too much of the quality. Now, granted, it hasn't been perfect, but if I can decrease that the file size dramatically without really decreasing the visual or audio quality of the same file, I'm all for it. MPEG Streamclip, and it can export into a variety of formats, including formats ready for YouTube. But as I said, it is not perfect. It is free, and it is easy to use. There are many ways that you can go about shrinking a file, or I guess specifically a video file size, and here's the thing. That was my recommendation. It's what I've used. I'm interested in knowing what you have used and your recommendations for shrinking a video file size without necessarily decreasing its overall quality. Feel free to leave a comment here in the video thread. You can email me, chris@perillo.com. You can post a follow-up response in the lockergnome.net thread or ask a question altogether, a different question altogether there. You could also start following me on Twitter. You can ask, me somewhere on Twitter. Just include the @ChrisPerlo or @lockergnome handle in there so that I know, what you're saying and you're directing the question towards me. And then, of course, you can join us in the chat room. It's kind of a part of my blog at chris.perillo.com, lockergnome.com. We're geeking out. And even when I'm not in front of that live video feed, the chat room should be live. And you can watch my screensavers and ticks clocks and things that are on my desk that I need to unbox and share with the world. That video feed with the chat room that's geeking out is on the web 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.perillo.com. We'll see you later.